So I just saw Barbie and I loved it. So let's talk about every single Greta Gerwig movie.
LOL, directed by Joe Swanberg, was Greta Gerwig's first role. The movie is lost now, but the 2000s looking website still exists. You can even see everyone's MySpace accounts. Yeah, MySpace, remember that? This movie is also an early example of mumblecore, a kind of indie film focused on improv, where Gerwig got her start alongside people like Joe Swanberg and the Duplass brothers. Hannah Takes the Stairs, also directed by Joe Swanberg, is Gerwig's first main role, and she nailed it. This movie only works because her character is interesting enough, and it's fun to see her navigate the ups and downs of modern love in this mumblecore style. Baghead is about a group of friends who make a movie in the woods. If you tried anything like that before, you'll find it inspiring, relatable, and maybe even a little embarrassing. It was directed by indie/mumblecore legends, the Duplass brothers, who have a very low-key, awkward sense of humor. But if you get it, it's really funny. There are also some unexpected horror elements, but I won't talk about that anymore. Yeast is the most underrated Greta Gerwig movie. It's not for everyone because it's very hardcore mumblecore. But if you're a fan of Gerwig or mumblecore, you're gonna enjoy it. It also has one of Gerwig's best roles as a woman child who refuses to grow up. Nights and Weekends is what every Joe Swanberg and Gerwig collaboration has been building up to. It is the best movie collaboration between them, and it is a great film about the long distance relationships that it feels really honest and real. The fact that they shot the first half and then got into a fight and shot the second half a year later makes it even better. This was also the first time Gerwig ever directed as co-director alongside Joe Swanberg. House of the Devil is Gerwig's first step out of mumblecore, and she did her best with a very limited role. The real problem with this movie is Ty West. Again, all his movies are too slow, but this one is crazy slow. Literally nothing happens in this movie until like the last 15 minutes. Greenberg is the first collab between Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig. It is a very meandering movie where nothing much happens, but the performances by Gerwig and Ben Stiller are solid. The Dish and the Spoon is a really underrated movie. It was marketed as this cute rom-com, but what it actually is a quiet, sometimes dark indie drama about two broken people. Both Greta Gerwig and Ollie Alexander deliver really great restrained performances. Damsels in Distress was written and directed by Whit Stillman, which is why each line of dialogue in this movie feels amazingly written. The dialogue alone is worth the ticket price, but Gerwig also gives a really different performance as a very confident, self-righteous, and even intelligent high school student. No Strings Attached is a very predictable cliche rom-com, and things happen in this movie that make Star Wars look realistic. But it's cute and it made me smile. I guess rom-coms could be so much worse. Lola vs. is Gerwig's first main role in a big movie. Critics didn't like this movie, but again, they don't really like a lot of Daryl Wayne stuff. Personally, I like how the main character Lola has good intentions, but still keeps making mistakes. There is something so human and relatable about characters like this. To Rome with Love is the Woody Allen ensemble movie starring a lot of different people. There are glimpses of brilliance in it because it's Woody Allen, but a huge part of it just feels like he isn't even trying, and Gerwig is completely wasted as the most one-dimensional character in the movie. Frances Ha is considered the crown jewel of all Noah Baumbach and Gerwig collaborations, and for good reason, because Baumbach's story of a girl chasing her dreams in New York City, it was the story of every young person in the 2010s. It was the voice of a generation, and Gerwig played the role of a lifetime here. But I still like Mistress America better, also by Baumbach and Gerwig, because it has that element of friendship and is generally funnier than Frances Ha. Maggie's Plan isn't anything special, but it is a solid relationship drama with three incredible performances by Ethan Hawke, Julianne Moore, and Greta Gerwig. Wiener Dog is as odd and dark and weird as any Todd Solondz film, but if you get on his very unique frequency, you'll find an interesting and sometimes funny movie about mortality. Jackie has a great performance by Natalie Portman and really pretty visuals, but it is also unbearably boring. I just couldn't bring myself to care about Jackie Kennedy trying to arrange a procession for the former president of United States. I just don't care. 20th Century Woman was directed by Mike Mills, which has this very tender and human style. Each character in this movie is so compelling that I just couldn't get enough of them, including Greta Gerwig as a rebellious punk. But the real star here is Elle Fanning, as the kind of cool, mysterious girl that is every teen boy's crush. Annette Bening is really good too. Lady Bird is Greta Gerwig's solo directorial debut, and what a high bar for only her first movie. This movie doesn't feel fake like a lot of teen movies do. It's very honest, it's very personal, and it's a story that hits straight to the heart for a lot of people, including me. I felt every single emotion that Saoirse Ronan felt in this movie, and by the end I just wasn't ready to say goodbye to these characters. Greta Gerwig followed up Lady Bird with Little Woman. The story still feels timeless, and the performances from Emma Watson, Florence Pugh, Laura Dern, and of course Meryl Streep are all great. But the best thing about this movie is just the chemistry between Saoirse Ronan and Timothée Chalamet. Just every time these two actors get together, it's fireworks. White Noise sees Baumbach and Greta Gerwig working together again after a few years of not acting, and Gerwig delivers a really mature performance here that I just couldn't imagine her doing during her younger days. The movie's biggest flaw is the constant overlapping pretentious dialogue, which to be fair has always been a part of Noah Baumbach's style, but in this movie it is amplified to just a really crazy, uncomfortable degree. But once you get past that, this is actually a really profound and thought-provoking movie about the human fear of death. Speaking of fear of death, Barbie. Barbie really is made for adults. It has a lot of deep subject matter like existentialism, sexism, patriarchy, but it is all wrapped in this colorful pastel candy coating. Without Gerwig, this movie could have so easily gone wrong because it is just such an odd movie with such an odd contrast, but Gerwig managed to do it really well, and the result is this really wild, creative, and deep movie that is nothing like anything we've seen before. Also, Margot Robbie is perfect for Barbie, Michael Cera is funny as ever, and Ryan Gosling really impressed me as Ken.